Hey, video is proven ridiculously hard to do. Oh, this is literally like take 10. The kids came in at one point. I spoke about temptation for too long on another point. So the topic that I chose was temptation and bad habits. I'm not going to speak about temptation. I'm just not because I don't feel like I've got much useful information on temptation to discuss or to put out into the world. So I'm going to leave temptation. I'm going to speak about bad habits and how to abolish them. I've got 4 steps that worked for me that I've done that I feel could work for you. I've got 4 habits that I'm going to use these steps in just to kind of give you examples of what you could do with them. The 4 habits that I'm going to use are procrastination, unorganized, being unorganized, overthinking. Not entirely sure how this is going to go with the overthinking one. And there was another one, eating crap, eating rubbish. So these are the 4 things that I'm going to take you through. I'm going to take you through the 4 steps first and then explain them more in detail within the habits. 4 steps. Number 1, know your habit. What is your habit? What is it you actually do that you want to change? Okay? And you need to be specific. I'm going to show you how to do this with the procrastination and stuff. All the other habits, I'll show you. Number 2, know your whys. Why is it a bad habit to you? Why do you feel that it's a bad habit? Why is it a bad habit in your eyes? It needs to be in your eyes. There's no point looking to change something that somebody else wants you to change just because somebody else wants you to change it when you don't see it as a bad habit. You need to know your whys. That looks like my middle finger. It's not. You need to know your whys so that you can kind of focus on them and realize what you're gaining and what you're losing when you're doing it. Like what you're gaining when you're going to change it, what you're losing when you're doing it. Okay? Know your whys. Number 3, become really aware of it. Like uber aware of whenever you do this. Question it. Be curious about it. Do not be mean to yourself. This isn't a case of like opening the cupboard for crisps and calling yourself names. This isn't a case of rolling your eyes at yourself and be like, oh, you're going to do it again. Don't be negative toward it. Just note it. Like as if you were saying, oh, he closed the door. Note it to yourself. Be aware of it. Be really aware of it. And be aware of how it makes you feel before, after, during. That's step 3. Excuse me. I'm still getting over the cold. Not COVID, just the cold. Step 4 is take little tiny steps to change it. Little steps. Quite often somebody will want to change a whole habit that they see as one habit and it's actually a massive habit and they'll try and change the whole thing. Don't try and change the whole thing. Unless you can. If you can, awesome. If you can't, break it down. Change one little tiny bit of it at a time. And once that bit's secure, once that bit's good, once you've got under your belt and you're happy with it and you find it's really easy or you find it ridiculously hard not to do, like, awesome. Build on it. Move on to your next step. That's your 4 steps. Know your habit. Know your whys. Question it. Become uber aware of it. And then make a little plan to get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to take you through eating junk food. Okay, so what's your habit? Eating junk food? No, it's not. Like, eating junk food's massive. Eating junk food could be eating too much dessert, eating too much crisps, eating too much chocolate, eating too much at nighttime, eating too much in the morning, eating too much like other sweets, eating too much pizza, takeouts. Like, this is a huge habit. Break it down. Pick one thing, whether it's eating crisps, whether it's eating chocolate, whether it's stopping takeouts. Pick one thing to do. I'm going to use, because I done this, so I used to eat chocolate in the morning. I've constantly had chocoholic kind of attached to my identity ever since I was little because I love chocolate and I used to eat a lot of chocolate. I used to want to stop it and I went 30 days without eating chocolate once, partly because I done it as like a thing with my friend. Another time I just done it because I was fed up at eating so much chocolate. It wasn't good for me. I was feeling rubbish. But it doesn't work. I stopped for 30 days. I wanted to eat chocolate. I like chocolate. Okay, so when was I eating chocolate? I ate chocolate in the morning. I could probably be done with not eating chocolate in the morning. So I decided to concentrate on that. That is my habit. I wanted to break. Not eating chocolate in the morning. Okay, that's my habit. My whys. Well, obvious. It's not good for me. It was making me put on a little bit of weight at one point. I've always been quite slim, so I'm quite lucky in that respect, but I was putting a little bit of weight on at one point, and that was kind of worrying me. And then there's my kids. I wanted to be a good role model for my kids, and every morning when I'm eating chocolate, that's not a good role model. That's me saying, you do what I say, not what I do. And I'd hear it from Tyler, Mum, chocolate's not good for you. Why are you eating in the morning? Because that's what I do. That's what I do. So these were my whys. I want to be a good role model for my kids. I want to be healthier. Okay? Becoming uber aware of it. So whenever I went for it, I'd be like, okay, right, so you're gonna get, where are you gonna get? You're gonna get penguin. Okay, you're eating chocolate, right? You're gonna get penguin, you're eating chocolate. And then I'd be like, well, why are you eating chocolate? Like, do you feel good eating chocolate? Like, I would question it. Like, how are you feeling after you've ate it? How was I feeling during it? How was I feeling before I ate it? Like, before I ate it, I was like, I don't care. I want chocolate. I'm gonna eat it. Simple. But I started getting more and more aware of it, and more aware of, actually, I don't actually like eating chocolate in the morning. I feel kind of crap. It makes me feel kind of crap. So I think the first 3 steps could help you reduce it just in itself. But if you don't find, if you want something extra, like put the 4th step in. Like I was eating 2 to 3 chocolate biscuits every morning. So my first step was don't eat more than 2. I was allowed to, don't eat more than 2. And then once I was kind of comfy with that, don't eat more than 1. And then once I was comfy with that, don't eat any. I would maybe last until 9. I didn't have it with my cup of tea in the morning. That was my goal. Don't eat it with your cup of tea in the morning. And then I'd have it at like 9. Now I don't eat chocolate until after 12. But break it down. So step 1, what is your habit? Eating chocolate in the morning. Step 2, why do you want to change it? Because I want to be a good role model for my kids, and I wanted to be healthier. Step 3, become really aware of it. How are you feeling when you do it? How are you feeling after you do it? What are you gaining? What are you losing? Step 4, come up with a little plan. A little plan, a little tiny steps, and do it. Like, do it for like 30 days. I used to have like a thing on my whiteboard where it was the numbers 1 to 21. And I'd take it off every time I'd done it. And I'd try and do something for 21 days. And by the end of it, I'd quite often not really care to go back to it. Okay, so that's number 1. This video is going to be long. Like, we've still got other ones to get through, but we're going to crack on. So number 1, chocolate, eating junk food, done. Procrastination. What's your habit? I procrastinate. That's massive. Like, that is huge. Procrastination is not a bad habit. Like it's many habits in amongst that. How do you procrastinate? When do you procrastinate? Why do you procrastinate? Like, break it down. Do you procrastinate by watching documentaries? I know my sister watches documentaries. Do you procrastinate by flicking through Facebook? Do you procrastinate because you go looking through YouTube? Do you procrastinate by putting on the telly? Do you procrastinate by looking out the window? Like, what is it you're doing? Find one thing. So one thing we're going to concentrate on is picking up the phone, flicking through Facebook, staying on it, flicking through Facebook. Like, pick one thing that you procrastinate on. One thing that causes you, like, encourages you to procrastinate. Pick one thing, work on that, concentrate on that. Okay, so we're going to go with Facebook. Okay, why is it bad for you? Well, because I'm losing time with my kids, because it makes me rush around in the morning, it makes me lose time just in general to do stuff by myself. It makes me feel crap afterwards. It makes me feel crap sometimes when I look through it and see all this awesome things that people are doing and I'm not doing it. Okay, so that's my why. Okay, become really aware of it. So when you pick up your phone, okay, why are you picking up your phone? Oh, you've got your phone in your hand. Why are you picking up your phone? Well, I want to look through Facebook. Why do you want to look through Facebook? What are you looking for? Oh, I'm just, shut up, brain. Shh. But become aware of it. Don't get on it yourself, but become aware of it. Whenever you pick up that phone and press that app, tell yourself that you're doing it. Oh, but this is a habit that you want to change. So why are you doing it? Like, do you need to be on it? Could you go and do something else? What are you trying to avoid? Know your whys. Know your whys. Become aware of it. Question it. And see how that works. If it doesn't, set little goals, little tiny goals again. So like your phone, if you're procrastinating in the morning on Facebook, really specific, in the morning on Facebook. Okay, so your device is your phone that you're going to be on Facebook on. Okay, in the morning, pick up your phone, turn off your alarm clock, put your phone in your jacket pocket. It's out of the way. You're not going to view it. You're not allowed to look at it until you come back from putting the kids in or until a certain time. Put it in your jacket pocket until you get to work. That's your goal. A little tiny goal, and stick to it. Okay? Procrastination, break it down. Procrastination is a massive, massive habit. It's not just one little tiny habit. It's full of them. Okay? What was the other ones? I can't remember. I can't remember what I said. I've got a really itchy nose. Itchy nose one's on here. Organization. Again, massive. Like, absolutely massive. I'm unorganized. So am I sometimes. Everybody is sometimes. But when is it affecting you the most? Okay? Like, you can be unorganized with birthdays. You can be unorganized with Christmas. You can be unorganized as in, like, you're not tidying your house. You can be unorganized with not looking at clothes for in the morning. Like, when are you unorganized? Know the habit. Know the habit that you want to break. Don't just say, I'm unorganized. I want to be organized. Work on it. Chip it down. Pick a bit. Pick a little bit, right? If you're hunting for shoes in the morning because you don't know where they are, start finding a home for your shoes. Okay? So that's going to be your habit that you want to break. Losing shoes in the morning. Can't find your shoes in the morning. Okay? That's organization, but that is a single little piece of that habit. Work on that. Work on that little bit. Okay? Why? Why are you wanting to break your unorganization? Like, why do you want to become organized? Because you get frustrated, because you can get grumpy, because you can be rushed, because you can be late. There's so much reasons, but know your whys. How are you feeling when you're unorganized? When things have happened because you've been unorganized, because you forgot a birthday, you feel rubbish. Okay, this is now going into whys. No, we are in whys, aren't we? We are in whys, okay? And then become super aware of it. So whenever you feel really, really crappy because of these shoes that you can't find yet again because somebody's left them in their bedroom. Tyler's a nightmare. He leaves his shoes in his bedroom all the time, then we can't find them in the morning, so we're rushing around. Note it. Can't find your shoes. Why can't you find your shoes? Because you don't have a home for them. Okay. How do you feel? Really rushed and frustrated because I don't know where the other bloody shoe is. I've got one shoe. Where's my other shoe? Okay. Be aware of it. Be aware of how these are making you feel. Number 4, do something about it. Pick something, pick a spot, get a basket for these shoes. Every day, put that shoes in the basket. Put that shoes under the stairs. Put that shoes in a spot that you've marked out on the floor. If you've got kids, mark out a spot on the floor. Get a dry wiper. A dry marker, a wipeable pen, a dry wiper, a dry marker. Mark out places on the floor. This is where your shoes go. Put your shoes there. Boom. In the morning, you are a little bit more organized. The kids find it fun that you've got a little spot on the floor that they drew on or you've drew on because you've got laminated floor, and don't do this if you've got carpet. Boom. Habit 1, done. En route to organization. Done. Do it. And then pick your next one. Okay? Overthinking. This one is tricky. Really tricky because you could overthink about so many things. Again, it's a huge habit full of loads of different little habits. I overthink in the morning. I overthink at night. I overthink on my way home from work. I overthink about the things that went on in my day. I overthink about things that have happened in the past. Break it down. Pick one little thing. If you're struggling to pick one little thing within these habits, like, write them down, put them in a hat, pick out one thing, work on that. Just work on that. One little tiny thing. Overthinking. Let's pick, I don't know, overthinking after work because of things that's happened at work. Oh, I've got such an itchy nose. This is me. Itchy noses and everything. I'm not doing this video again because I've done it loads. I'm fed up doing it. Overthinking, okay? Overthinking about what's happened at work on that day, okay? That's going to be the habit that we're picking. We're picking a small section of this habit. When do you overthink? What are you overthinking about? Just pick one thing. Or pick the past. Let's actually go with the past. So I'm overthinking about the past quite a lot, okay? That's your habit that you want to break. You want to break overthinking about the past. Why do you want to break it? Well, because the past is the past. You can't change it, no matter how much you want to or how much you would give your time, your body, your soul. Like, you cannot change what's happened in the past. So it's not good for you to dwell on it. If it's making you sad, it's not good for you to dwell on it. If it's making you angry or jealous or frustrated, it's not good for your mental health. It's making you angry for other people. This is your why, okay? Look for your why. And then you've got, be aware of it. So every time you start overthinking, you can note to yourself, oh, are you overthinking? Yeah, I'm overthinking. Is it in the future? Is it in the past? Like, when did this happen? Oh, it's in the past, right? Okay, were you not trying to not overthink about things in the past? Yes, it was. What are you gaining from it? What are you losing? How's it making you feel? Can you fix it? 9 times out of 10, if it's in the past, you can't fix it. Okay? Be aware of it. Be aware of when you're doing it, why you're doing it, and how it's making you feel. Okay? Then you do little things to change it. This is the bit that I struggle with overthinking. Like, how do you change it? Breathing. I would always go with breathing. Breathing's, it helps so much just to breathe. Concentrate on your breathing for 5 minutes. So whenever you find yourself thinking about the past, take 5 deep breaths. 5 deep breaths every time you find yourself thinking about the past. Or 5 star jumps. Or scream. Or shout on somebody. Or go speak to somebody. Or go send a message. Whenever you think about the past, go and do something. Something really little. Like, even if it's 1 deep breath. Every time I think about the past, I'm going to do 1 deep breath. Okay. And then just build on that. 2 deep breaths, 3 deep breaths, 4 deep breaths. I'm going to go and speak to somebody. I'm going to go and do the ironing. I'm going to go and try and take my mind off it. 4 simple steps. Hell, we're in like 16 minutes. We need to get going. 4 steps for abolishing your bad habits. Okay. Step 1, know your habit. Break it down. Do not give yourself a massive habit. Procrastination, eating junk food, being unorganized, overthinking, huge habits. Break it down. When and how and why. Okay, step 1. Step 2, know your whys. Know your why it's a bad habit and why you want to change it. Step 3, can't bloody remember. Be aware of it. Be aware of it and question it. Don't be mean to yourself. Don't call yourself names or be sarcastic. Just be aware of it. Just note it to yourself. Step 4, think of little tiny things that you could do to change it. And work on that one thing first and then build on it. I am going to go because that's 17 minutes past the time that I started. 17 minutes video. I'm going to go. Right. I will see you on Sunday. Bye.